Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for Trending Vegas. I'm your host, Melissa Dudan, joining you for a very sort of different Trending Vegas, a social distancing Trending Vegas, as you may. Diana Paul from the communications office, as well as Shane Savannah Preety are here. We're taking the proper precautions as much as we can, distancing ourselves and just trying to talk about everything that has evolved since the last Trending Vegas. Just to recap, the last Trending Vegas, some resorts had closed down themselves before the non-essential order came down from the governor, and schools had just closed their doors, what we thought was going to be for just a couple of weeks. And now here we are. Everything has been extended through April 30th. Just kind of want to check in with you guys. Office of Communications, extremely busy. Diana, how's it been for you guys?
Yeah, it's hard to believe this is, I think we're going on the fourth week of that this whole thing has happened. And since then, you know, for social media, it's just completely skyrocketed. Our numbers, we've had, it's like 280% above what it usually is for this time.
Wow.
200,000 hits on our blog. People are coming to the city of Las Vegas for so much information, which a lot of it is not our information. You know, a lot of it's through the state of Nevada, but we're just being inundated. And so our team, you know, is essential in the sense of we're helping get the word out about what to do, how to get help, and we're doing it 24/7. So it's been really, really crazy. I can't believe it's already been a month.
And Shane, how's it going with you?
Yeah, I mean, it's, as you can see, it's mask time now. So
Right.
It's like every week brings a new phase. Let me just take that down.
Oh, okay. As long as you feel safe doing that.
As long as you feel safe with me doing that.
I'm okay.
I mean, the way things have changed, you know, people were just grappling with the coronavirus being a thing, and then kind of the panic took over, and then now, you know, our top Instagram post probably for the year is a picture that we posted of downtown with the words, everything's gonna be all right. So it's now, we're into that phase where people are trying to look for more positive messages and reassurance. The talk show people are back on the air doing their shows from home. So people are trying to find their new normal, being stuck inside.
You know, we can start to bring up some of the social media that we've seen. This is some artwork that is displayed downtown. Artists have started beautifying the boarded up businesses that have had to shut down due to coronavirus. This is just a couple of the murals that you'll start to see. Really nice to see people putting inspirational quotes up. And then we have videos like this that are playing. As we know, the Light Las Vegas, that was canceled for social distancing, but a lot of people are showing their support for the community with signs on the resorts, billboards, just everything you can imagine, really showing how resilient Las Vegas is. And I have to say though, new normal, does that phrase that's being thrown around a lot, does it make you nervous? The new normal doesn't give me a sense of calm. It actually makes me sick to my stomach to think that this could be a new normal. Am I the only one that feels like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not a phrase that people use endearingly. It's more of just coming to acceptance with what's going on now that we've been through, you know, 4 weeks of it here, and it's still going. So new normal for, you know, just means like, okay, we're kind of getting used to it, but hopefully it's not the new forever.
Absolutely. Diana, you have your little ones at home. Shane, you have little ones at home too. What has it been like for you guys just trying to teach them what's going on? I'm surprised because my 6-year-old and my 2-year-old the other day said we can't go because of coronavirus.
Yeah.
And it was interesting and scary all of
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that needs to be done to try to educate our kids, and you know, we've just tried to share good information about how to stay safe and why we're wearing masks or why we're using all the hand sanitizer. It's just to stay safe. So I would say for my kids, they don't have a sense of fear, at least that they've indicated, because it's like we're just going to be safe. We're not going to be around a lot of people. The new normal doesn't bother me in one aspect, is that everyone is being a lot safer. We probably should be covering our mouth when we sneeze, and we probably should not be touching everything. So in a way, I'm kind of comforted by the carts that are being sanitized, by the people, not masks necessarily, but just using good hygiene. Because yeah, I mean, like when you have kids, they're coughing and sneezing all over everything. So I hope that at least keeps going, that we're going to use good procedures so that whether it's coronavirus or the flu or anything else.
Yeah, kids are the worst carriers of
Yeah, exactly.
Disease, not just coronavirus.
Exactly.
You know, this video that's playing right now, this is from Fox 5 Las Vegas, just shows the emptiness of the Strip. And just different landmarks around our city, and it's sad to me, but at the same time, I am interested to see how Las Vegas as a whole will bounce back from this, because if anything we've learned from the 1 October tragedy is that we really are a resilient community that manages to, band together and rebuild, so to speak. I want to talk about what your office is dealing with, because you are on the front lines as well with the Office of Communications. What's the number one question you guys are getting right now from the public?
So many questions. A lot of people are, of course, out of work. So there's a lot of people trying to file unemployment, and of course those lines in the websites everything is backed up. So people are getting nervous that stuff is not going to come through. The CARE Act that just passed. People always have questions when there's new legislation, wondering how it affects them, how they can get the the benefits of that. Childcare is still a big issue for everyone. They're being stuck at home. They want to know when the schools are going to reopen. They want to know, when are they going to delay school? Are they going to be able to graduate on time? Things like that.
And so people are actually calling the city looking for these answers.
Yeah, because the city is like Diana said, is a go-to place. One, because we are, combining various information sources into one place. People can go to lasvegasnevada.gov/coronavirus and see a lot of the updates from the state, from the county, health district, all in one place, school district, all the updates. We're posting it, keeping it in one central spot that's easy to get to. So, most of the traffic, Diana mentioned, over 200,000 hits to that one blog page in the last month.
Wow.
And 67% of that is from Google search. So we're coming up high in the Google search because so many people are referencing that page. I think it's good to have the information on one page, but then that makes us the information source, and
we have to be there for them.
Yeah, we have to be there for them. You guys are doing your newscast video updates, so we're all kind of essential in this time, and that means that we've got to figure out a way to keep getting these messages out.
And Diana, a lot of people have been asking about what's going on with the homeless population, and what is the official name of this complex that they're building?
I think it's ISOQ, right?
ISOQ.
And a couple weeks ago when we had we had Catholic Charities closed because they had an issue, and we opened up a temporary spot at Cashman, and we dealt with a lot of blowback on that because the images that went worldwide were people sleeping on the sidewalk. And from this side of the table, it's like we were trying to do whatever we can. I don't think anyone would say that sleeping on the concrete is ideal, but we had hundreds and hundreds of people that had nowhere to go. Where are we going to send them? And so I kind of tell my family members and people that from maybe don't know what we're dealing with is that we're doing the best we can in an immediate situation. So we got a lot of blowback on social about letting them sleep there, but again, we're trying to find somewhere for these people to not go, to not be on the street. And so now with the ISOQ, it's for those homeless populations that are infected or have symptoms that have nowhere to go, and that's going to be over at Cashman. And that's a more short-term facility, but at least it's going to have a roof and it's going to have facilities and that type of thing.
Right, and I do want to mention a couple of things. We're recording this on April 7th. Things change daily. Yeah. Sometimes things change hourly. So what we're seeing right now may not make sense a week from now. So please keep that in mind as you watch our programming as to when it was taped and what things may be changed. The communications team does an amazing job of keeping that blog up to date with the most relevant information. Going back to the ISOQ, I thought it was interesting because we did get a lot of flack on social media for that. And a lot of people were saying, you have these empty hotel rooms, how could you do this? Well, the city does not own those hotel rooms.
Yeah, it's a private company.
It is a private company, and so it takes more than just, hey, let's just load everyone up and put them into a hotel. It's a lot harder than that. But what other aspects have you guys seen come out of this? What have you learned about your jobs and the need for a Shane and a Diana and a Melissa during this time? Shane?
It's hard. I think it's a balance because, like you said, we have kids and we have our life and our family. And I'm not to say I'm not scared. I get scared on certain days, but I still need to come into work. So because I think of the public, I think about those people that need help, that have questions. And so whether we're working from home or working from here in the office, it's for them. I'm working for the citizens. I take that very seriously.
Yeah, and it's hard to be the ones to say, stay indoors, don't go out, don't interact with people, and then we've got to come into work and we've got to hold meetings, and we have to interact with a lot of people, and it's hard to to be sending one message to the public and have to live in a kind of a different reality.
Absolutely. Let's also talk about those non-essential businesses that have closed up but are doing everything they can to stay in business during this time. The city has really done a lot to try to give them a little boost, offering them, letting them do alcohol sales with curbside. They can now do alcohol with delivery, correct?
Right.
Can you talk about that and what the response has been?
Yeah, so we first started with curbside delivery for restaurants, and that was, again, the restaurants reaching out to the city to see what could we do to keep them in business, and so that's been great. People are finding their new favorite place again that they love to eat, and then we started implementing delivery for liquor stores. So I think the city has 16 liquor stores, and so they're now delivering, and they were so inundated that they already are, like, I think, halting some of the deliveries. So we're trying our best, but I will tell you too, from social, I've heard from some other businesses that are like, what about me? And it's, you know, if they own a business or a bar or a hairstylist, we haven't done anything there's not a lot we can do to help them. Yeah. So we're helping where we can. The city's trying to do what we can, but we can't help everyone, so I think that's hard.
And businesses in the redevelopment area are eligible for monies to board up their and secure their locations.
And beautify it, correct?
And beautify it, yeah. You showed some of those posts with the kind of murals being done outside some of the boarded up businesses. So there's money for there, and we're trying everything that we can, but with the because the city is funded with taxes that are not going to be coming in anymore because these businesses are shut. One of the only things that are open right now are grocery stores, and they don't pay sales tax. So the city's doing what they can, but we're about to hit a big budget shortfall very quickly.
Right. It's going to take adjustment from everybody. Some good news or some good social media, I guess the perks of social media. Number one, if you're not on TikTok, I would get on TikTok because you talk about going into a hole of laughing and just giggling at people. That's really a fun one. But then we saw these kind of social media posts. The spirit of Las Vegas is immutable. And of course, someone lighting up a cigarette and playing the slots with some toilet paper. Those are just some cute things. Okay.
And I will say the first 2 weeks of the response was obviously just the immediate response, but then we started hearing from people that they need some laughter, they need a break. So you want to be cognizant of that and not be disrespectful that people are worried. But then we kind of started transitioning to some fun posts. We had a coloring book. I don't know if you know the number of clicks we got to that, but people thousands of clicks. So we're starting to transition to try to put some laughter there. Like you said, the TikTok videos are great, and people trying to make the best of the situation because people need that, I think.
How do you think this is going to change society as a whole as we move forward? Do you think handshakes are a thing of the past? Really? You got to think about it. I know that when we get through this, and we will get through this, it makes me question how often I want to travel. Am I going to be willing to travel as much? What are y'all's thoughts on this?
I think, again, just being safe. I think that's what people are learning. You can take precautions. You don't have to be, some people want to just stay in their house. I, for one, don't want to do that. I used to think that was the best thing to do, but that's not really living. But I can be safe, so I can use my hand sanitizer, I can use my mask if I need to. So I don't know, I hope there's some people that use this as a way to be safer. Maybe you don't need to shake everybody's hand. Maybe we can start doing fist bumps so that you can still live your life, but be safer.
Yeah, let's hope people disagree with you, Melissa, because we're a tourism-based city.
I know.
We don't want people afraid to travel. I would be the opposite way. I cannot wait to get out.
Your bags are packed already?
Yeah.
You're ready to go?
I've been trapped in the house with some kids, and I am ready to go on vacation, probably alone.
Yeah, okay. Well, I've contributed to the liquor sales, I'm just saying. That's definitely me. One thing I want to talk about before we go kind of into on a lighter note as we're dealing with this pandemic, what are y'all watching on Netflix? I watched The Tiger King. I have a lot to say about The Tiger King, you guys. Shane, what are you watching on Netflix?
I'm catching up on all the shows that I didn't really have an interest in, but now that I've got so much time on my hands, The Witcher, the second part of To All the Boys I've Loved Before, I think that's what it's called. Tiger King, of course, all the stuff. Better Call Saul. So all the stuff that I didn't really get around to when it first was out and big.
Yeah, I look at this. This social media post made me laugh. This was on my Facebook feed, and it's just too glorious not to share. You know who's been buying up all the toilet paper? Carol Baskin, and that is obviously a joke from the
Tiger
King. This is another thing my 10-year-old cousin put this on the front door for the UPS guy. He knows what's up. And it says, did Carol Baskin kill her husband? Yes or no. And you put the package based on where you want your answer. Diana, what are you watching?
You know, I watched Tiger King the first episode, but I've also been watching a lot of feel-good stuff. Like, I'm all of a sudden back into the Disney Channel. I'm watching Toy Story,
seriously.
Toy Story 1 and 2. I don't know, because in a way I kind of need that. And I started rewatching The Office, which is because it's those comfort shows that my go-to shows.
Need some escape.
Yeah, but a lot of old Disney movies. So.
I'm so grateful for Disney, and I think it's interesting how Disney and some other shows have released their, for example, Onward.
Right.
They released that to buy, and then now it's just on Disney Plus, and you talk about a really cute movie.
Yeah.
I cried, and that could have been the coronavirus effect on me, just being emotional.
Stress.
The stress of it all, but it was a really cute movie. What have you noticed about what Netflix has done to kind of, or other streaming services have done to help during this time?
One curious thing was that the worldwide Netflix and YouTube have had to throttle back on their streaming quality just because of the demand has been so enormous, because this is a global pandemic, and YouTube, Netflix, they stream shows all over the world, and they just weren't prepared. Their servers weren't prepared for this hit, to everybody being at home, everybody suddenly needing entertainment. So the thinking about the behind the scenes of like how do they provide all that content is just interesting to know that they nobody was really prepared for what we're currently experiencing.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to say thank you guys for all that you are doing. Keep up the good work. And of course, we'll revisit back with you guys.
Put my mask back on?
Yeah, put your mask back on. Thank you. And we'll revisit with you guys again in 3 weeks. All right, well, coming up next, I am talking with the director of the Department of Employment, Training, and Rehabilitation here in Nevada, as tens of thousands of Nevadans try to file for unemployment. That's coming up.
With coronavirus spreading, people at higher risk must take extra precautions. You're at higher risk if you're over 65 or if you have an underlying medical condition. Please visit coronavirus.gov for more information.
Welcome back, everyone. Tens of thousands of Nevadans are filing for unemployment. So many questions are popping up as the staff works to get everyone the help that they are looking for. I'm joined now via Zoom by Dr. Tiffany Tyler Garner, Director of the Nevada Department of Employment, Training, and Rehabilitation. Thank you so much, Doctor, for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity to speak with you.
Can you kind of just give us the scope of things right now? How many claims have you all seen, and how has that been an increase, say, over last year?
Oh, these truly are unprecedented times. I can tell you that nearly 3 weeks ago, that the number of claims that came in 1 week totaled 9.5 months worth of claims from the previous year.
How are you working to meet everyone's needs that are calling in, having problems online, and that sort of thing?
We are increasing staffing, technology, hours, and actively monitoring our systems and resources to meet the demand. With every need as a part of that process, what folks will note is in the recent weeks, a doubling down on our online resources, because it's the safest, quickest way for folks to complete their claims, including establishing a YouTube channel to walk individuals step by step through the registration and claims process, both in English and Spanish, a continual updating of our frequently asked questions, a step-by-step guide for each of the claim processes, as well as ensuring that the unemployment insurance handbook is online in both English and Spanish.
I was listening to a webinar that you gave with the chamber, and I did notice that you said, don't maybe try not to call during peak times. A lot of times people think that if they're first in line at 8 a.m. to get through, that's going to get someone on the phone, and that isn't necessarily the case, correct?
When individuals only call in at 8 or there's a deluge of calls, that it actually has this slowing effect, where to ensure that the system does not crash, it begins to throttle to allow portions of the calls in so that the integrity is maintained. So we recognize that these are uncertain times, surely unprecedented times, and that there may be anxiety around what the claim process is. But if we could ask for patience during this time but also a commitment to doing a few things that folks can do to ensure that not only their claim is seamless, but that the process is seamless for others, or 4 or 5 things. 1, please file online if you can do so. 2, reserve the phone lines for those who cannot file online. 3, before you attempt your claim or registration, please read the online handbook, the fact sheet, and watch the video, because errors to claims may trigger a lockout, not because we want this process to be difficult for others, but we also have the responsibility of ensuring that we protect individuals from fraud.
I mean, that's really interesting that you're saying that. I think a lot of times when people file for unemployment, they're in such a state of panic and they want help that they tend to overlook the little things, thinking that they just want to get closer to the end. So that's actually really good advice. Take a deep breath. Make sure your dates are lined up. Make sure the numbers line up. Make sure everything is in line. It could get you through the process faster. I want to talk to you a little bit about the CARES Act and what it offers. Also, independent contractors and where they fit in. We've heard the governor talk about asking people to have patience. We've heard you say, please bear with us. It's important to note that everything is going to be retroactive, correct?
Every claim and every process will be backdated to the first date of eligibility. And in the case of independent contractors or members of the gig economy, because the development and implementation of the CARES Act provisions are still underway, we are asking them not to further convolute their process or the relief process by erroneously submitting claims into the traditional unemployment insurance claim system. That is not the place for it. So that our commitment is to ensuring that the relief is administered as timely as possible and that no eligible benefit will be lost.
Absolutely. I have one more question before I let you go. I heard you mention in the webinar that this is a case-by-case basis, and there are so many different scenarios playing out, especially here in Southern Nevada. If you were, your hours were drastically cut, but you are still employed, but minimally. I mean, are you eligible for it?
Maybe, for example, you had a second job and you still have your first, but you experience a reduction in income, where you may be eligible to submit a claim. The process to do that is to submit it and you will receive a determination.
Well, we appreciate all of your hard work, and I cannot even fathom the heavy burden you all are carrying, and we wish you nothing but the best and just as much support as we can as you weave through this process.
Thank you, and thank you for this opportunity to speak with you and the community.
Absolutely. Have a great day. Stay safe.
You too. Thank you.
Well, so many people here in the Las Vegas community have stepped up to provide personal protective equipment for our first responders. Coming up, we're going to introduce you to one local company doing just that. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. While this can be a scary time for the community, so many members here in Las Vegas have stepped up to help. I'm joined now by Travis Turner from the Emergent Group, who's teamed up with Polar Shade Sun Control to make masks and gowns for Las Vegas healthcare facilities. Thank you so much for joining us, Travis.
Hey, Melissa, thanks so much for having me.
So let's talk about how you got this idea to team up with Polar Shades and fill this gap, this need we have in the community.
Well, I was first reached out to by a few community leaders that said, Travis, we really have to do something for our community and for our medical professionals here. They're down to using one mask a day and one gown a day and are seeing multiple patients a day that are contracted with the coronavirus. And after reaching out to all of our different, PPE providers locally, I realized there's nothing available and everything is on a backlog for weeks and weeks for delivery. I saw the story that was originally launched by Channel 3 for Polar Shades and reached out to Polar Shades and I said, I love what you're doing. We have to partner together. Let's fundraise and try to help do much more.
So Polar Shades, for people that don't know, they do window coverings and things like that, correct?
Yes, they're a window covering company that does shading for new homes and existing homes, and they have completely halted all of their regular day-to-day production to be able to provide back for our medical community. So they're making hospital gowns for the professionals to be wearing, and they're also now making masks so they can protect themselves throughout the day.
How many masks, how many gowns are they able to produce in this facility daily?
Now it's changing day to day because we were on a little bit of a backlog from getting some of the supplies needed, but they're making over 2,000 gowns and 2,000 masks a day, which is incredible.
So all of the mask gowns, are they staying local or are they being distributed regionally? How does that work?
They're not being distributed regionally. They are all staying local here in Southern Nevada. And I'm sure if Northern Nevada reached out and had the need for it as well, that we would open our doors for that. So we currently have partnership with UMC, Comprehensive Cancer Center. We have the Henderson Fire Department and a few other hospitals that are also joined forcing.
I cannot imagine the cost, not only the labor, but the actual physical equipment and materials you need to do something. How are you all getting money to do this? Is Polar Shades taking on all this responsibility, or are they seeking donations?
City of Henderson came in initially and said, we will fund all of the equipment that's needed. So we've been very grateful for them. We hope that City of Las Vegas and City of North Las Vegas can also step in so we can help simulate and balance out some of that overhead. Polar Shades has paid for 100% of everything thus far. They are in need of additional funds so they can keep the doors open of the facility, but also be able to create more shifts for staff. So not only are we able to keep a business open during this time of crisis, but we're able to help employ some more people.
Do you know how many orders you have ahead of you, or is it kind of a day by day, let's see how it goes and how many orders come in?
Polar Shades is taking it day by day based on the orders that are coming in and the ability to keep up with production. Additionally, as we're seeing how this pandemic increases and the need for things increase, we're seeing some of the larger PPE protective equipment companies, able to help with some of the production. But here locally, we're doing our best to keep the supply as often and as quickly as possible.
Okay, Travis, you're really involved with philanthropic work throughout the community. How important is it for communities, no matter the jurisdiction, to come together during a time like this when we're facing a pandemic?
It's interesting that you asked that question because, yes, naturally, we're supporting shelters, supporting hunger, supporting, medical causes that are much tougher battles to fight. And right now, everybody, the entire community in Las Vegas is coming together to help fight this pandemic. There are a lot of businesses that can't close their doors because we have to help those that are less fortunate and that are very needy, but the PPE equipment is hard to come by. So everybody's doing their best to help each other. Everybody's doing their best to partner to create streamlined communication, opportunities so everybody can help each other in the time of need. It's pretty interesting to see the shift from everybody focusing directly on the cause that they're focused on to support our community. And, we were already Vegas strong. It's just making us Vegas stronger.
Absolutely. Very well put. Travis, thank you so much. And thank you for all the work you're doing. And thank the people over at Polar Shades for us as well.
Thank you so much, Melissa.
All right, that's going to do it for Trending Vegas. We will see you next time. Remember, you can get in on the conversation. Just follow at City of Las Vegas and use the hashtag Trending Vegas. We'll see you next time. Stay safe, everyone.